usual. And I know some of you be thinking, whoa, it's 3 o'clock. What is she doing here? Well, I'm doing something here because I'm with a very, very special lady in my studio today. I mean, my producer asked me, what are you wearing? I've never seen you shining like that. And I said, well, I'm shining because my guest, if you see my guest today, you'll understand why I'm shining. And you'll understand why I'm here at 3 o'clock instead of 6. You know, in Kenya, sometimes when you're late, you're going somewhere and you're like, excuse me, I'm late. They tell you, Sugenda Kesho. Sugenda Kesho means you could have gone yesterday. So you don't disturb me. Oh, Jana, you could have gone, Ugenda Jana, no. You could have gone yesterday. So Ugenda Jana. So that's the thing. Today, instead of going at 6, I'm going at 3. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And as you watch, I say thank you so much. And guys, keep on sharing. I know it's not my time yet, but I'm here with my special lady. So keep sharing, ask your questions, your comments. We're going to answer them later for you, okay? So I'll let my guest introduce herself, and then we just want to know, who is this lady? Who is this powerful lady? Who is this lady of substance and tenacity? Who is this lady that moves mountains? Who is this lady that speaks and the president listens to her voice? The other day, my children asked me, oh, Mom, Lynn Ngugi is very, very special. I said, you know what? To me, she's more special than the king. To me. And that's Lynn Ngugi. Okay, she's more special than the president himself because of the things she does. Okay, because of the things she does. We know that, on a serious note, we know that there are people who just have names as titles. But that's not what that's not what life is all about. It's not about having a title, but it's about doing what those people who don't have titles are doing. And that's what Lynn Ngugi does. Now, let my guest introduce herself. Who exactly is Lynn Ngugi?
Whoa. What an intro. I am seeing you talk and I'm like, am I what you're saying, like, powerful? Oh, no, thank you so much, Lydia. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Thank you for that amazing introduction. I keep doubting whether I'm deserving of such accolades, titles, and stuff, but I'm Lynn Ngugi. I'm a media personality. I'm a daughter, and I'm a sister. I'm an aunt. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So
humanitarian side of things.
Yeah, I like to say I'm more of an advocate of social injustices. Like I like to go out there and raise my voice. We were just talking about what your segment is. Stand out, speak up, and you said you have to stand out from the crowd, and then you have to speak up. So I did stand already from the crowd, so I'm now just using my voice to like speak up and highlight issues that are affecting especially African people, matters, gender-based violence, human rights violation, all that. That's what I'm really passionate about. Yeah, and most importantly, I love music. So,
you love music as well?
Yeah, I love music.
But you can't dance, can you?
I can't dance to save my life.
Because I've seen you in 3 different platforms.
Yes.
When you were asked to dance, one of them you ran away.
Yeah.
One of them you just did something small.
Yeah.
And another one you're just standing there.
I just think my waist betrays me, so I don't want one day when people are just making documentaries about me, they say the girl who couldn't dance. So that's why I ran away. But I can't dance, but I really, really, really love music. I remember there's a time we were driving around, just me and you, can't mention the rest of the people who were busy sleeping, and we were just, we really bonded over beautiful music. And yeah, so I just love music. And what else? And McDonald's. So.
Oh, don't tell me about McD. You live in McD. Breakfast McD, lunch McD, dinner McD.
Yeah.
You love McDonald's. Is that because we don't have McDonald's in Kenya, or?
I not really. I just
and you're compensating.
I am compensating. Like I just think McD's will always have a special place in my life. I think it's what, when I used to get paid well in Dubai, is what I would save and have like McD's. It was like a special treat. So it's like me and it, we are connected.
Right now we've just advertised McD, so they need to pay us, right?
Oh, yeah, how much?
They need to pay us. You've just spoken about something that we shouldn't, and they need to pay us.
Oh, man. Okay.
So going back, Lynn Ngugi, now you tell us about your journey. Because I know normally we are the ones sitting on that seat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I always say that we're all different, because you're very subtle, you're very firm, your voice is so soft, you cannot even take a mouse out of a hole. But then when I talk, my voice is above the roof. So you're just so soft and everything. So I love that about you, and I love the fact that you're very humble, even though we know what you do. And because what I normally say is, when people say I'm successful, I say define success. And some people define success with how many cars they drive, and the house they live in, and how much money they have. But that's not what success is really, because when you die, which we all die someday, you've left all these things and they'll rot, or people start fighting for them. But what you do, that's what I call success, because you actually you've left, or you believe, a legacy. Because there's so many people who can stand and attest to the fact that Lynn Ngugi has done this. You've touched people's lives because of your platform. People have gone to school because of your platform. People, they've got new houses because they're just living in a mud house. Because of your platform, people have gone to the hospital because of your platform, which I think personally is the main thing for me, is people who've been murdered, and you, because of your platform, they've managed to get their murderers, like the child, baby David. They caught the murderer running in Tanzania. So imagine she was going to Tanzania, and because she's a murderer already, she was still going to probably murder another child in Tanzania. So she was caught there, and all is because of your platform. How powerful is this platform?
I just like that you've defined success in a different way, because just like many people, I struggled like defining success. You think again, no, I like people who live in nice houses. We went to Jersey Island yesterday and it's beautiful, and I appreciate that, but I don't find fulfillment in just what I'm driving, or where I'm living, or what I'm eating. It's just the ability to impact a life. Looking back and you are like, wow, we did this and this person got caught. And I say it's a collective thing, because again, I'm really appreciative that we've been able to live now. Now we are living in a community that can be able to come together and create impact. So when I air stories, and my audience now, the people who are watching our work, are the first ones to tweet and demand for justice, I look back and I'm like, this is beautiful. I mean, yes, this is our platform, but we are people like from different corners of the world who are coming together for a similar cause. So for me, that's powerful. Like my friend always says, how do you light up a fire? You start a spark, But remember, sometimes I always say, people don't have to watch your work. People don't have to relate to your work. Now when I find a community of people that are so interested in what we are putting across the platforms, and they are really to advocate and fight and demand for justice, that makes me happy. It keeps me going. Now I'm defining success as just the ability to impact one life, just one life at a time. I see a life has changed because of our collective responsibility, and I'm like, I think we are a bit successful now. I think now actually this is success. I don't know, this is success.
Wow, now you see, that is the reason I said you're better than the president.
Oh no.
You are better than the president, because, and I'll give example with my own president, okay, where I come from, which is Kenya. That's where we all come from. There's lots of things that happen, and justice, nobody finds justice out of it. And a lot of people have tried to get justice, but they can't. They've gone to the government, they can't find justice. And that's why a lot of them look for you, because they're like, if I just find Lynn, they see you like a mini god, to be honest. They see you like a mini god. Because if the president can't do it, if the government can't do it for them, at least Lynn can raise awareness. Because what you do is not like a police who runs to go and get the killers or the murderers or the rapists. You create awareness that, look guys, this is what happened. So everybody's on the look. Oh my God, let's look for this person. And that's how justice comes in. that is why personally, and I'm talking on behalf of a lot of Kenyans, not even just Kenyans. We're gonna get to that because we've had accusations of stop speaking in Kenyan language. You know, so not just, but more justice. We're talking about Kenya right now because I know there's also even a lady who died in America, and you aired her story in Kenya, but yet she was killed in America. But now the FBI, they've gotten involved with this issue. Yeah. But this is not Kenya. They're in America.
No.
So you're not just touching Kenya. And that's what I call you. You're better than the president. Because what's the president doing, really, in terms of humanitarian? Yes, there's politics, economics, which is fine. But in terms of humanitarian, and that's where we've lost. That's where we've lost ourselves. And that's where we're able to define success in material things, not in humanity.
Yeah. I think one thing I agree with is we've concentrated so much on matters politics, matters finance, matters like now here even in the UK, everyone is talking about how the pound is doing and stuff like that. But also on the other page, there's a whole story about a hospital that is likely to be found guilty of having, neglected this and this. So I just feel like sometimes the government leans more towards politics, better roads and stuff. But who are you creating these roads for? If your people are not, if your people are dying, if your people are dying of mental illness, if your people can't even wake up and find justice, if someone lost their son or their daughter, how do you expect them to continue like being happy about using the roads you are trying to provide for them, yet you did not even cater to their mental needs, So I just feel like sometimes the government, they lean more towards the politics, and it's nothing bad because again, politics shape a country, but a country who's with people who are not okay is not going to be successful. A country where everyone is battling depression, everyone keeps saying, okay, I was raped, but if I speak, chances are people are not going to believe me, or even if I it's very hard to report matters sexual abuse because you are meant to relieve that trauma from here to here to here to here. So by the time it's even getting addressed, you are like, you know what, let me just deal with my pain. I can't keep telling people this happened, they refer you to someone else. Okay, this happened, then someone else, this happened, but no one is providing therapy for you in the process. So I feel like, especially in Africa countries, we have to understand that a country is built by its people. And if the people are not okay, all this progress, infrastructure, all these trades that you are conducting, all these good things you want to bring to Africa, cinemas, nice cars, better roads, no one is going to be using them at the end of the day because people will be damaged, and damaged people cannot use all these good things that you are trying to provide for them. I just think that's how I look at it.
So what actually inspired you to start things like this? Because you could have gone in a different direction to be rich and get all this money and material stuff. But what actually inspired you? Because sometimes they say some people, because of the pain they've gone through, they use that pain to bring something positive, So Udai, is it that you've gone through anything of the kind, so you're thinking, I'm going to use my pain to help other people out there?
Absolutely, and there's no shame in it. Like, I've been through pain, so I keep telling people when they see me doing work on the platform, let them not confuse it for someone who is just, it's because I've lived some of those moments. I come from a broken family. I come from a place where I witnessed my mom being beaten by my dad as if she was just some piece of, like a football. I come from a family where we slept hungry. I come from a family where I did so well in school, but I was forced to take a class back so that by the time I'm done with that class, my mom could have enough funds to take me to high school. I come from a family where no matter how much mom could get beaten, I never saw her receive any police help. I never saw her receive any pro bono legal aid. I never saw her receive free medical attention. I just feel like it's what inspired me to start is knowing there are people like us out there, but no one speaks about people like us. So I was just looking around, and the gap was just so huge, and I was really broke when I got into this space. But then I kept like being really inspired, like I went to school for this, I love this, I want to do this, so how do I even like just keep pushing myself no matter what? And then you do one story, and on the comment section people just start coming and saying, this story is like my mom, this is me right now. This is, people will even open pseudo accounts so that they can come and comment, but by commenting they want to express their pain. So I think, again, as you said, when you start things from a point of pain, people now will be like, oh my God, how is she able to do that? But for me, it's like, I'm lucky right now I'm able to do these things without experiencing them. I'm able to cover stories of domestic abuse, and no, I'm not going home to be beaten like left, right and center. So if I can't use my voice in a space where I feel like it's hard to imagine it took me all these years to feel safe in my own country, right? So I look at the number of men, women and children who are going through different forms of abuse, and I'm like, what if these people are just like me a few years back? No voice, no platform, no community, no one cares. So I said, maybe I need to stand in the gap and try and see what will happen. And clearly things are a bit opening up. It's so hard to do an interview with one of your best friends, because you're like, yes.
I know. You want to tell me, asking me those questions. Yeah, but it's just because I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And not everybody does. And you know what, when we were going to Jersey, and guys, we were actually going to Jersey yesterday and we missed our flight. And she keeps calm. This is a very calm lady. Even when I want to shout, she's like, you guys, just the way she speaks, that's the same way all her attitude is. And she's like, you guys, don't worry. And that time I'm like, really, don't worry? And she's like, don't worry, things happen for a reason. And I was like, Lydia, just shut up.
Yes.
Don't talk at this time. Let's just get to Jersey.
Yeah.
So we get to Jersey, and we're driving. The lady who picked us up is taking us home.
Yeah.
And we actually met people on the bus stop.
Oh, yeah.
So if we did not miss that flight, we couldn't have met them in the bus stop.
Exactly.
And we went back for them, and one lady just saw you, and she just started crying the way you helped her. And these people know me. They didn't even say hello to me until the day the time we were going, oh, Lydia, we forgot about you. Bye. I'm like, hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
And the way that lady reacted, it brought tears to my eyes. I was sad, because I sat in front of that kind. I was like, wow. So this is what this woman called Lynn Ngugi does. You helped this girl, you didn't even know her.
No.
You took your time and you helped her. And that's why, and now I realize why we missed the flight.
Yeah.
It was just for that person. So that's why the Bible says that even if you have 99, leave the 99. Go and save that one. So we missed the flight because of one person that she had to meet you and just say what she said to you yesterday. So now going back to our pain and everything, we always see some people who from grass to riches, but when they get there, they forget.
Yeah.
A lot of them, they forget where they came from. They don't want to live that life anymore. They don't want to be associated with those people anymore.
Yes.
They just want to have a big house, a big car, and just, that song that says, hang around with the big boys.
Yes.
They just want to hang around with the big boys, and they don't want to hear anything. Is there any time in your life that you felt, now I'm here now, so you know what, all those problems, I don't want to hear them anymore? Is there any point of your life that...
And it's a prayer I do. I pray, God, please always remind me I've never arrived, I will never arrive. Because sometimes, as you said, leave the 99 and even attend to one person. Sometimes you have actually real 99 people who want you to just help and just, just listen to them and stuff. But I struggle with, I don't want to arrive, because I think from the many books I've read, I always know that's when you lose it in life. When you start thinking you're better than someone, when you start thinking, oh, I don't need those people anymore, when you start thinking, now I need to move to the next level of my life. But I know how to grow myself and still stick to my purpose, right? Because again, I will be doing myself a very huge, it's not even, I'll just disservice by not growing. So even me right now, I'm trying to grow and still cater to my purpose at the same time. But I've never felt the need to say, I'm rich now. I'm not even rich, by the way, true story. So I don't know how that will feel, but I've never felt the need to be like, I've arrived, so now God. I actually, sometimes people don't get, my hair is a form of rebellion. Like it's a constant reminder. My hair keeps me in check. Like I look at it sometimes and I can be very rebellious with it. I can decide to leave it like this. I can decide to do bantu knots and go to the show. I can decide not to compete. I can decide to do so many things with my hair because it's a constant reminder. Let this hair be a reminder of where you came from. So I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, God, maybe I need to do something to this, especially my mom. Since she's not a fan of my hair, she's like always like, those 2 lines you put, then what are the cornrows? They look really nice on you. And then I'm like, Mom, I know what you're trying to do, but I'm still keeping this because even when I look at myself in the morning, sometimes it's a source of inspiration for me. I know, man, we've come from far. We've come from far. So I always pray. It's a prayer. May I never arrive. May I never feel like I'm important. But I'm one person who will constantly choose growth. I will not stay so like the way I am, so people keep associating with me every other time. Again, a great disservice even to the people who are following me. So I like my supporters because they know there's time to grow too. So even when I'm growing and they don't understand me, even when I take a break from some shows because they're like super emotional, like emotionally draining for me, they get it. And it's like all of us in the platform have been waiting for that break the same time. So in the comment, they'll be like, oh yeah, we really needed this break. Oh yeah, we really needed this break. Oh man, it's so I always feel like our energy moves together because I create from my heart. So if I'm not feeling something at that particular moment, I take a break and then I go on the comment and all of them really needed this break. But I don't want to ever feel like I'm more bigger than any other person. And I even say to my shows or even to close friends like you have said, if you ever see me going easy, check me, just check me, like just tell me, Lynn, something is not right, but don't check me if I'm choosing growth and you know for sure I'm choosing growth. But check me if deep down your heart you know I'm really going towards the wrong path. Then I'll be like, oh yeah, because everyone messes up. I don't want people to view me as this girl who will never mess up. That's what I've been anticipating my whole life. Because I will mess up in the internet too. And I don't want people coming for me with, oh, we knew she wasn't. No, I want people to know I'm a human being who is really working hard towards her purpose, but who will mess up one day. So the same way you love my work, please correct me with love, you know?
So is there any show you've done? Because I know now, I want you to tell us that as well. The show, you've taken a break on one of your segments. And is there a show that you've done and you had probably nightmares, it disturbed you for long? Because I know your shows are really deep. Some of them I start watching, some of them I can't even finish it. Okay, let me confess to you.
No, true story.
Some of them are like, I can't watch this. You know, like the lady, the one that was so painful for me was, but one you did when you were still in Tuko as well, is that was so painful. That was so painful for me. Is the lady who went shopping. She went out and she left a 2-year-old in the house. And that 2-year-old was molested by a landlord, not a landlord, a security guy or caretaker, caretaker. And that really hurt me. And then the man, somebody who was looking after these children, and then the wife too died and left him by himself to look after this child who was defiled so bad, and she's in a wheelchair. And then that, to me, I could never even finish watching it. And then this doctor was talking too much grammar. I was like, why are you talking grammar? Just tell us what's wrong with this child. He's saying so many things. So that was bad. And me, that as I was watching it, I wasn't there. I could not sleep for so long. I kept on thinking of that man, thinking of that man. One day I just stopped thinking about him. But you that you're there, you're living it, you're seeing it, you're hearing it. How do you cope?
Hey, yeah, you say the shows are really heavy, like really heavy. Sometimes even my fans, I'll meet them, Lynn, I love you, but I couldn't finish watching that show. And I'm like, it's all right, come tomorrow. I have a lighter one for you. But I always used to say, right now, as I said, I'm prioritizing my mental wellness right now. That's why I've taken a break from Tales of Wanjiku. But to be honest, for the longest time, I did not know how to cope, because I always knew, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to, this person is in need. I have to come through for this person. I have to take care of this person. I have to help this person. Wow. And you know, sometimes when you know you are living your purpose, every day you want to wake up and do better and do better. When I did the story of baby David, I have to say that's where my climax, that's like now at the last stages of me being like, man, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. So I used to honestly think about that child. That child, one I also did when I was still at Tuko, of 6-year-old girl that her body was found and they had cut her into pieces. Oh my God. And then for Abby, I lean more towards kids, and because I'm like, come on, you should not, like you should have chose a better person to attack, but how is this kid even going to defend themselves, even if they were able to defend themselves? So always really, and again, I love justice for Abby, justice for baby David, and every single day those stories are really personal to my heart. Even if you follow with Mama David, she can tell you, I get really personal when someone really tries to, especially the legal department, they try to swerve her this way and that way and that way. I get really personal, and I even go to them and I'm like, no, treat this person as a human being. Explain to her where her case is, what should be done. Stop treating her as if she's just like naive. This is someone who lost a son. But for the longest time, I always knew, Lynn to the rescue, Lynn to the rescue, Lynn to the rescue, which is a good thing. But I found it a bit draining, because personally, I don't go for like therapy sessions, one-on-ones. My therapy now, I'm finding, is nature. It's traveling, it's doing away with my phone, it's disappearing, just being by myself the whole day, actually just listening to my body, listening to my thoughts and stuff, which is helping me cope. But if the stories I do, obviously they affect me, but I have to say, the more I grow into the field, the more grace I'm finding, the more ways I'm exploring on what to do when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Because I've noticed me feeling overwhelmed, the audience also feel it sometimes. It's a shared responsibility. So I'm learning to tell my audience, it's okay for us guys to go for a break. Go take care of yourself. Because also you can't give if you are broken. You have to heal. Sorry.
It's okay. Because you go with your audience anyway. You see, this thing of, and that includes me as well, we can't watch something and finish it. Okay, we can't watch a story and finish it. But the person who is going through that story that we can't finish watching, what is the person going through? Do you understand? So there are some, us outside, like stand out, so we're standing out, we're not in that field, we're not in that puzzle. Imagine that person who is going through, listening to us saying, oh my God, I couldn't finish watching your story. I couldn't finish watching your story. How is that person feeling? What is that person going through? And that's why I say it again, that you're better for me, you're better than that president, because when all of us could not sit and listen to somebody's story that they've gone through, that they just want someone to listen to them, but yet we're there saying, no, I'm sorry, I can't listen to that your story. It hurts too much, I can't listen to it. But yet they're crying for me to just listen. But then you're there, Lynn, you're listening to them. You're listening to all those stories.
Oh, that's deep. I've never thought of it that way. That's actually quite deep.
Yes, it is, because imagine the person is there crying for just us to listen to their story. But because it's so deep and painful, we can't share their pain. So we are running away from their pain. The government is running away from their pain. The society, the family. But then we have Lynn, who is there ready to listen to them. And that's why I think you taking a break is so important, because then when now you listen to them, you can't listen to them halfway like we do.
Because I gotta be full in. For me, I've always said I have to be 100% present. So there's no way I'm going to host you, no matter how painful your story is, and be a passive participant. I have to be like an active participant. So, yeah.
I've seen you.
Yeah.
These 2 weeks I've been with you, I've learned so much. I've learned that you're not just in a hurry to do something. I've learned when you've told people, when I'm like, Lynn, we need to do it, you need to do it. And you're like, no, Lydia. You know, and I'm thinking, what? Why? This person. And the way you just take your time and you explain to them, and you say, I cannot just give you half-baked stories. It has to be like this, like this. And I've seen when you're just calm, when something happens, and you just, and you're managing us and the boys. You know, those boys, you're always on their neck.
Yes.
And you just manage the situation so humbly. And I think that's a grace that you've been given, because all of us, we have a different grace.
Yeah.
Me, I'm always running and doing things, but your grace is totally different.
Yeah.
And that is why you're able to listen to people's stories to the end.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're even sitting with that person like this, we were just watching on the on
Oh,
Mtandao.
yeah.
Some of them we don't. Some people we don't even know that it's true, because I know some people are like, are those stories really real?
Yeah.
They're not real.
I just don't like, to be honest, the only question I totally dislike is, was that story real? I'm like, no, wait until you experience such pain, and then you will know if the story is real. Like, but sometimes I also don't blame people much, because what has happened to someone else might not have happened to you. But be a bit cautious, because your pain is not someone else's pain, and just because your pain is bearable does not mean other people's pain is bearable.
And you know why people think like that? It's because, again, going back to humanity, humanitarian side of things, is because we've never had somebody exposing those deep things for us.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to Kenya. This is just so silly. One of my very good friends, so I helped this school in Kibera, and we went to Kibera, and there's these children, the way they're suffering, the clothes they're wearing. This person that I'm talking about, she actually lives in Kenya. She's never even left Kenya.
Yeah.
But even though she lives in those high ends, you know, and she was like, oh my God, so people really live like this? And I was like,
it's your country.
Seriously? It's your country? You didn't know people live like this?
Drive around.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. Because nobody have brought us. You see that person, I brought the person to Kibera, so she saw.
Yeah.
But because nobody have brought us in that space of, people actually suffer. People actually go through this.
Yes.
We can just sit in our comfort zones and be like, are you sure this is real? So you've been able to bring us out and tell us, guys, this is real.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah.
And that's why for me, I'll hold you to the highest.
Thank you.
Because if it wasn't for you, Lynn, there are some things I will never have. That's why people say, is this real? Because they look like a movie, but it's actually somebody's life.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually somebody's pain that they're going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you, first of all, how do you even find these stories?
The stories find me, honestly, like 90% of them, the stories always find me. My email is right there on our platform. I always ask someone, if you have a story, send just a summary, and the team will look at it, and I'll get back to you. So it's a process, because you have to go analyzing. Again, as a media personality, due diligence is not negotiable. It's something you have to do. You have to dig deeper. Is this person telling me the truth? If it's the case of sexual abuse, I just feel sometimes, because before I touch it, I have to ask you for an OB, a police report, a medical report. In other life, I would have easily wanted someone to just tell me it's sexual abuse, and we cover the story. But I have to protect my brand too. So if you come and you've not filed a police report, and you know, sometimes it's the stereotype, it's the shame surrounding reporting such cases, I'm just also going to tell you why it's important for you to file this before we can do this, so that if this even goes any further, you are legally protected.
Yes.
So people come to us with their stories, and not just stories. Sometimes people just write for comments and, hey, keep going guys, I woke up today, I watched this story, I might not be able to share mine right now, but just know you are the reason I'm fighting so hard today. I mean, now when you see that, and also the story, it's a balance, it's a balancing act. So you just look, sometimes people come and they say, I want to share my story. Or personally, there are people I approach and I'll be like, yeah, like you, I approached you. I said, hey, Lydia, I know we had started talking, but I was like, Lydia, I would really be interested in hearing your story. Yes. Can we have a sit down, you know? There are people personally I'll also approach and just be like, I love what you stand for. I think your story is really inspirational. Let's share it with the world, offer someone hope, all those things. So it's not hard, honestly, but it requires a lot of dedication, matters due diligence, matters credibility. Because again, if you just go doing any other story, someone is likely to come and use your platform for revenge. Someone will come, use your platform just to mouth another person. So you really want to be picky and careful with the kind of people you are bringing to your platform.
But has that ever happened to you? Has somebody ever come for just their own personal benefit, either for jealousy, for revenge, for lies, just lies?
Now you will find those in the email, of course, and then you are reading in between the third paragraph and you are like,
sense. Nah.
I'll be like telling my there is something is not adding up here. Like my gut feeling is saying, leave this story alone, guys. Just leave this story alone. And 99% we've been right.
Yeah, your intuition is always on point.
It's Juogi.
Juogi.
It has a name.
Guys, it's called... let me tell you that's a name called Juogi.
Yeah.
Juogi is a Luo word. And it's intuition. So your intuition is correct.
Oh, yeah.
Because even here in London, I've seen when you say, Lydia, no, and then we sit down, and at the end I'm like, yeah, Lynn, you are actually right.
Yeah.
So your Juogi is on point. Your intuition is on point.
You can call me Lynn Ngugi.
In fact, tell us your real name.
Lynn. They can guess for 100 pounds.
Because that is something that JJ keeps us.
No, I'm Pauline.
JJ Karanja keeps us on toes.
I'm Pauline. So I'm named after my grandma, Pauline, which is my mom's mom, the late. So it's Pauline. I have a special, like, the name Pauline, you'll hear it among like really deep relations that I have with people. There are people who know me as Lynn, but they've refused to call me Lynn. They'll just be like Pauline, Pauline, and I'm like, guys, Pauline. So I'm named after a woman I loved deeply. She was so beautiful, used to make us nice food, and my grandma was amazing. So that's Pauline, that's where Lynn comes from. Nyambura, which is rain, again my grandma, and now Ngugi, which is my late dad. So
okay, so you have
Pauline, Pauline, which is Lynn, and then Nyambura, and then Ngugi. Okay. So people call me Kanyambu also, so
Kanyambu.
Don't.
No. Hello, sasa Kanyambu.
No, please. No.
No, to be honest, you're doing a great job, and
Thank
that's
you.
why I had to start from there, rather than okay, Lynn, tell us when you were born, blah blah blah. I had to start from your work because that's that's who you are, because that's what carries you, and that's your passion, and that's what you love doing. So now, I know this question sometimes it's not a silly question. It's not a silly question at all. But to me, sometimes I'm wondering, why are you asking that question? Come on, guys. It's
Bring
common
it on.
sense. But common sense is not always common.
It's not.
Why did you leave Tuko? Because a lot of people have asked that question.
Oh, yeah. Man, it's been how long now? It's been how long? It's been so long. It's been so long, but I love that my supporters, I don't like doing away with the fact that we created a beautiful platform at Tuko together. So Tuko was home for a long time. But even as a young girl, when you start growing up and then you start seeing, this guy is nice, you start exploring chances of marriage, and you are like, maybe I want to get married now. So I did not leave Tuko to be married. I left Tuko because I found a man, you know. I found a man, and that man was like growth, and that man was just me wanting to explore things by myself. I mean, you stay in a place for so long, and because I gave it my all with no fear of contradiction, I went hard on that brand. I gave it my all. I really gave it my all, but it reaches a point where this is the ceiling and there's nowhere else I can go. I just stand like this and I'm knocking on the ceiling. There's nowhere else I can go. So I just felt like it was really important for me to choose growth over comfort. It was home. I don't know if it's still home, but it was home for so many years. And I'm really also appreciative in how much skills they instilled in me, how much confidence they had in me. But I just feel as a parent, sometimes you have to let your kids go, because you're not going to marry them anyway. They gotta be married somewhere else. Yeah.
Wow, that's a nice one.
Yes.
Because you're a woman, that's why you say you found a man.
I found a man.
But the man is
L-N-N. Yes.
Lynn Ngugi Network. Okay, so guys, now she's no more in Tuko, because I know everybody asks her. Anytime I put Lynn, ule wa Tuko, ule wa Tuko. Well, I know why they're relating you na ule wa Tuko, because that's where they found you, and that's okay. Because that's where they knew about you. So even me, I knew about you when you're in Tuko.
Exactly.
Okay. So and because you said you gave it your all.
Yeah.
And I like that, because there's when we were in Jazzy as well, you spoke, and after you spoke, there's the lady who came to me and said she was actually crying, and she said you spoke to her. And she wasn't meant to. And when she said you spoke to her, I was thinking, I didn't see you speaking to Lynn. But I just remember that it's no you speaking to her physically. It's what you were saying that actually touched her. And she wasn't meant to come there on that day. But she was like, let me just go. So I was like, you were meant to be there. So she was meant to hear what you were saying. So you spoke to her. And she said, from today, I'm going back to that work, and I'm going to give it my all. Because I remember you said, you told God, I'll let you say it.
No, I said, no, say it.
When you said you told God to bless you, when you were doing your coffee job, you said, God, I'm not going to leave this place until you bless me, because you hated it at first, but you realized that if you're working for God, you have to give it your all and love what you're doing. And the day you say those words, because words are powerful, and you did not just say them, you meant them. So when you meant them and you say them, you started projecting it out, and you started implementing it, and you started getting awards from that job. You're the best every month. You're the best worker of the month. So you spoke to that lady, because she came out and she hated the job. She was crying on her way to the event. But when she heard what you said, she said, from tomorrow, I'm going to be a different person. I'm going to look at my work differently.
Oh, wow.
And from there, God will bless me to get something else. So when you're in Tuko, you actually gave your all that people actually thought it was your brand.
Oh, yeah.
People just related to Ati nani Watuko.
Lynn Watuko,
Lynn Watuko. So people didn't think that there's other presenters in Tuko. People didn't think that there's any other thing. It was just Lynn Ngugi, period. That's why when you left and started doing Lynn Ngugi Network, some people are confused because they're thinking, but this is you. This is like your brand. Did you just leave your brand to go to another brand? So people are really confused.
I know.
So I like the fact that you've enlightened people. Guys, she chose growth
over comfort.
So she grew wings like an eagle and she flew. And now what she's doing, I think, would you say, but those are just my words, but would you say that where you are right now with your Lynn Ngugi Network, the things you're doing, if you were in Tuko, you wouldn't have done that?
I'm not sure, because I'm not, honestly, I don't know. I just know that now I have more freedom to speak up with I just feel like I have more. Are you okay?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just feel like I have more freedom now to actually do things and not ask for permission. I don't do well in, can Can I not?
Yes,
Should I
yes,
should I not?
yes,
I like
yes,
freedom.
yes,
I like, and as a creative, you get to a point where you can't ask anyone for permission to be creative, right? So I felt like, I know I am, honestly, truthfully, I don't go somewhere with the intention of losing. I'm just going to be the best in that place. Like, I don't care. Like, honestly, I do not care. If I come, I came to be the best. And the only person I'm competing against is myself. So every day I know, am I growing? Am I not? Am I growing? Am I not? And at that instance, I looked and I was like, I'm not growing. As I said, this is the ceiling. So the ideas plus, you know, as a creative, you want intellectual ownership of your property. You don't want to honestly create content for someone and they be like, I'm sorry, as long as you created it for us, it's ours. I'm like, no. If I'm an artist and I'm making music, my kids will have to know this music was made by their mom.
Exactly.
If I'm making a documentary, I need the intellectual ownership of this property that I'm making. So matters intellectual property I couldn't get. So for me, it's more like, why am I giving you all this? What am I like? I need ownership of my intellectual property. Like, I'm not just going to
hand it over.
I felt like it's like an artist, but you draw a portrait and you just, hey, here, take it now. You draw another one and it's like, hey, here, take it now. But I'm like, I want to actually line them up for my grandkids so that they can come and see the work,
the brain
behind the work. So I feel like I have more freedom right now. I feel like the lessons I got from there are the reason I'm still pushing harder. I feel like they actually gave me a lot. I'm not the only person. They are not the only people who benefited. I benefited a lot from that platform, given it's one of the biggest digital platforms we still have in Africa. I felt like I learned a lot of skills, things I wouldn't be able to actually really do in my brand right now. But I always said with no fear of contradiction, I had the talent, I had the skill set, and it was just time for me to move.
And now coming back to Lynn Ngugi Network.
Oh yeah.
I remember, because I don't remember this when you're in Tuko really, but now that when you're doing your own things, I remember there's a time a Nigerian lady, actually you were there because you were here in the UK, but she didn't know I was with you. I don't even know how she got my number. You know, when people want something, they'll get it regardless.
Yes.
And she was actually very angry
on
that message.
Yeah.
She was like, why are you speaking Kenyan?
Yes.
Why are you speaking Kenyan?
Yeah.
Tell Lynn Ngugi. And she was even angry with you.
Very angry.
Tell Lynn Ngugi.
Yeah.
Her platform is not just Kenyan.
Yes.
It's international. We want to hear what she's saying.
Oh yeah.
And I love the fact that you took it and responded to her. And when you responded,
she was so happy.
She was so happy. She couldn't believe that was Lynn Ngugi speaking to her.
Yeah.
Okay. She couldn't believe that was Lynn Ngugi speaking to her. But I'm so happy that you spoke to her.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you know what I told you. I told you you're locally accepted, internationally acknowledged, globally approved.
Oh yes.
Hey. So now we're going to take a little break.
Yes,
you received in Jesus'
I
name.
receive, yeah.
Amen. So we're going to take a little break.
Yeah.
And we're going to come back.
Yes.
And then with more. So now we're going to tell us who really is Lynn Ngugi.
Oh yeah.
In the background.
Yay.
After the break.
After
Guys,
the break.
Don't leave. Don't touch that button. We'll be back.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
wow, welcome back, everybody. Keep on sharing, guys. Keep on sharing, because today our Lynn Ngugi, our very own madam, is on the hot seat, because she's used to putting us there. So today she's the one there.
Yeah.
But now coming back.
Yes.
Like I said before we went for break, you're international. You're globally. Everybody listens to you. Now, I remember we went to Thatched House. I don't mind advertising Thatched House.
Okay.
Because they've been great to us.
Oh, yeah.
They've been great to me. They've given us free food.
Nice food, though.
Nice food. Very nice food. Thatched House, guys. You need to visit Thatched House. It's in East London.
Yes.
Very great food. Nyamachoma, matumbo. Your guys have been dying of matumbo in Ugali in Thatched House.
Yeah.
So I remember when we entered Thatched House. And guys, this is so funny. Actually, it happened twice, on 2 different occasions.
Yeah.
When a Kenyan guy came and said, you look familiar. I think I've seen you. Or maybe it's not you, because he's thinking, why are you doing in the UK? It can't be you.
Yeah.
And we're like, who is that? And he comes to this phone. She was in Tuko. She's in Tuko.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. Lee. I say, Lynn Ngugi. That's the one. She's in Tuko. We say, show us. So the guy goes like that.
Yes.
And we see it. He's like, oh my God, it's you. What are you doing in the UK? He was so excited.
Yeah.
And that was a man. We also found a Nigerian guy who was so happy, saying, I know her, showing everybody Thatched House, this is her.
Yeah.
So it was Zimbabwe as well.
The Zimbabwean
guys.
Yes.
So we have Zimbabweans here, we have Kenyans, we have Nigerians, we have Ugandans, it's international. People love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Now, I don't know how, because I know when I did my show with you, my Nigerian friends watched it as well. Yeah. Because I remember I went to a park and one girl came to me and said, oh, even me, my name is Roso, so you don't like me. You don't like me. I said, sis, calm down.
They gotta watch the story to understand that. Yeah.
Say, I hear you say you don't like people called Roso. I say, sis, go and listen to this.
Yes.
But you speak Kenyan now. You speak your language now. So I don't know because now you've realized, now that you came to the UK, you actually realize that it's not just Kenyans that watch your platform.
No.
So is there something that you've learned that you can actually do for everybody to feel like this is part of us? Because you're part of everybody, Lynn.
I know.
It's not just Kenyans.
I know. And I remember I told you, man, I even came to this studio, when we came to the studio, and I said, oh, Lydia, my vision was less. When we went to Pauline Long's studio, I was like, man, my vision was so less. Like, I had such a small vision. And now to see that this is slowly becoming, let's start with Africa. It's becoming an African thing. You know, everyone wants to watch what we're doing. And then you see on your inboxes people from Germany, and I know people have really been on your neck since you brought me here to the UK. They're like, Lydia, when are we going to have Lynn in Germany and stuff like that? For me, I have to say this was like a recce. It's more of I've observed, I've seen. It's like an affirmation. Wow, our work is out there. So now we actually have to be able to bring content that caters to everyone. But on the same note, I don't want to lose the authenticity of storytelling, because sometimes the reason you are not able to tell these stories in English, it's number one, your guests cannot communicate fully in English. And we have to understand English is not our first language. And there's a way your story will come out in your own normal language that is going to actually be really authentic as compared to when we do it in English. However, I like that we operate on a digital platform that has enabled us to put on English captions. I think people don't know where to find the English captions. So my team and I will do a better job making sure it's the first thing they see once they tune in, that, hey, click on the CC button to access English captions. But for me, just hearing people, especially when we walked in and the Zimbabweans, the South African man, I was like, come on now. The Nigerian, I was like, oh, we went to Wales, and there's a gentleman in Wales who follows our story.
Englishman.
An Englishman. And
even the Englishman that passed on that morning.
There was a judge that really watches our work from Wales. So I think the challenge has been posed. I think just being in the UK, especially just to say thank you to you, Lydia, because I don't think I would have realized how massive our platform was, because you know, when you are just in a box, you tend to become so familiar to that box, and you know your roots. You know, from here I go there, I go there. But now when you come to such a place and you're exposed to so many possibilities, you just have now to take what you can and now start programming your work in a way it can cater for someone. And then again, ours is a network now. I love that now I'm operating under a brand, under a company, the Lynn Ngugi Network. I know it carries my name, but it's not just me, it's the Lynn Ngugi Network. So we're looking towards becoming the home of humanitarian journalism in the world. So which means we will have presenters from different parts of the world just joining in, being under the umbrella, because I can't do it. I can't do everything, you know. One day I'll genuinely wake up and I'll be like, I can't, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. So I'm trying to really mentor people who can be able to cover this content from different countries. But just knowing people actually watch our work from different places, that was amazing.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
And I know you spoke about regards the caption of English, because some people cannot actually express themselves in English. These are people in Kenya, and probably they can't speak English or they can't read English. So what this caption, that is just now me thinking aloud what you said. If we're speaking in English and someone who wants to hear it as well in Swahili, because they cannot understand English, are you going to do it in Swahili as well?
So captions are really, 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 God, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But since we operate from Kenya, we are exploring the options of having a sign language interpreter, Swahili captions, and English captions. So we just start from there, and then as we try to accommodate now different languages in the platform.
I think if you do the English and the Swahili, because you're based in Kenya, your most of your audience are Kenyans. Okay. Now a Kenyan is there who can understand English. And they're really Swahili. They're really frustrated because they love you to bits. And I don't think it's even about loving Lynn now. It's about loving the stories you bring.
The content.
The content. Because right now, like you said, you can wake up and be tired. I love the fact that now there's a youth segment and there's that little girl that does it.
Yes, Gala.
Yes.
And then
there's a men desk.
Oh, yeah.
And you have one and only Joshua, who the comp denied him.
Yeah, the man who was rejected by the comp. No hopes of him being accepted by the comp. So yeah.
What made you think of coming out with the youth and the men, and what brought that up?
I don't want to take the credit and say, oh, I woke up one day and I'm like, my God, let's have this. But I always say, even as an entrepreneur, be surrounded by people who are able to like challenge you. So I remember Joshua J challenged me and was like, hey, we were actually sitting and I was like, all of us were like, we have a gap here. It's the men's conversations, because men will not easily open up to a woman, but you've seen how well they can open up to Joshua. So I was like, there's a gap there, so hey, let's do this. And since we've known each other for a long time and I know what he's capable of, I just posed the challenge and I'm like, hey, can you actually do this? You're the one who's going to do this. So, and so far so good. We sat and then again we saw a gap in the youth segment, and then we had this really beautiful girl working in the editorial department, doing the articles for the Lynn Ngugi Network digital website. And then we were like, Gala, I think you're really gifted. Could you please try ABC? And she tried, and our audience are just starting to like associate with her. The more you, as a business person, you have to keep identifying the gaps, and then you have to keep seeing, how can I fill this gap? Does it work for my platform? Because again, there are so many gaps, but some of them are not aligned to your vision. So I looked at these two gaps and I was like, they align to our vision. If you're going to be the home of humanitarian content, we have to cater for the needs of everyone. I'm passionate about women and children issues, but it doesn't stop there. Men have a voice. They should be allowed to express themselves. The youths, I've met your daughters, your incredible daughters, and as people will watch their show on my platform, you can tell how divided their views are. But these youths are the ones who are going to lead tomorrow. So if we keep not wanting to listen to them, we are doing a very huge disservice to ourselves, because like your daughters, they are so intelligent, and you look at them and you're like, which part of this world did you guys grow up in? Who gave you all this, knowledge? And obviously they take after you, and maybe the dad, I don't know much about him, but you just look at them as young women who are expressing themselves with no fear, and they are able to stand up and be firm with their decisions. And you're like, our youths, actually we just use the youths when we need their votes, when it's campaign season.
Yes.
Vijana ni time yenyu, vijana it's your time now, vijana let's do this, but no one cares about the issues they are going through. So we just identified the gap, and so this could really work with our platform, and I'm glad the reception is beautiful.
Yes.
So we keep going and we keep rediscovering ourselves.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving the men and the children. Even though I know in this world, they always say that men are this and men are bad and men are dogs and men are this, But I always say that, yes, even though percentage of men will be on the bad side, but we also have good men.
A lot.
And we also have men who, even those bad men, they want a space to express themselves. They want, and I know when the interview with my children come out, people laugh because they describe the men. Even me, I was like, damn, okay, that is not my version.
It was Joshua's expression. He was like, he'd be asking, what do you think about men? And they gave him such feedback, and was like,
what? That's not what I was expecting. But anyway, let's just move on. Move on. So I was like, it's good that you've given men this space.
Yeah.
And most is the youths. Yes. It's so sad. And me coming back to, oh God, I don't even know what I should say. There's so many things in my head right now. I'm thinking, Lynn this, Lynn that, And I know we don't have much time, but I'm still thinking, Lynn. Because when it comes to the youths, okay, especially girl child, all right, not dismissing boy child, but girl child.
Yeah.
We've seen how many young girls from the age of 11 pregnant. Some of them are from their biological fathers, their biological brothers, teachers, neighbor. They just went and got pregnant because probably nobody spoke to them about sex or anything. And I've seen some of them in your platform, okay? So, and then we have, what annoys me so much in Kenya? The women rep.
I
don't think they should have any women representative position.
Yeah.
Because that is just a position to get money. Yeah. People like Esther Passaris, what the hell is she doing? They are not doing anything. So we still have girls who are wandering up and down. They look, and then you ask girls, who is your role model? Yeah. If they give you the names, I don't want to call those names because it wasn't their fault that their names were called. I was thinking, okay, damn, if this is your role model, darling, you're lost. Because they don't know who. No. So if they stood there and tell me, oh, Esther Passaris, because she's doing something for them and they can see, I'll say, well done. But to give me some names, I'm thinking, is that the person you see as a role model? Then you're lost. Yeah. But because they don't have, it's like they don't have hope. Because even the ones that come to your platform, they come after they've been broken. They need somebody to help them. They've been broken. So the ones that have not been broken, the ones that have not been broken yet, and the ones that have been broken, you still give them the platform. Yeah. They all need a space. Nobody is there to give them the space. Yeah. And then we have women representative. I don't know 100 and how many of them, because in every county they're there. Every county. And every county is the same thing. Child's sanitary pads. Towels, They don't get the sanitary towels, and that is where we see them sleeping with border guys. And you can never blame this child, because this child, she doesn't want to be laughed at school. Do you remember a child who committed suicide because one stupid teacher made a bad comment on her and everybody laughed at her and she committed suicide? No girl wants people to see her blood. No one. Because that's something very private and personal. Yeah. And for her to cover herself so nobody should see her blood is to get a pad, because that's all she knows. I have to get always. If I get always,
I'm good.
I'm good. how am I going to get this always? And then she meets one useless buffoon saying, if you sleep with me, I'll give you always.
50 bob.
I'll give you 50 bob. That means you're going to sleep with this person every month.
Yeah.
Because the periods come every single month.
Every single month.
Now, why can't we just teach this girl child that you don't need always? There's other ways that you can actually protect yourself without your periods being seen.
Yeah.
No education whatsoever.
No, none.
And yet we have
none.
reps.
None, you know. And I don't know which country I saw they've actually done away with taxes for sanitary towels. And I'm like, in Kenya, sanitary towels Scotland. Yeah, and in Kenya, sanitary towels are like some of the most expensive things. And I'm like,
and yet condom is
free.
Yeah,
you know. But also the way when you said, why do we need women representation? And I have to admit, these women reps are failing us, but I don't blame them. Like, I don't blame them because the reason
why don't you blame them?
No, I do not blame them because it starts from top there. You have seen from government after government after government after government that this thing is not effective. You are still the ones campaigning for them. When it's time to campaign, you are the one going, vote for this as a woman rep. That shows as a leader, you do not even know this position is not effective for your citizens, right? You are the one endorsing them. You are the one saying, vote for this as a woman representative. I don't even look at...
Because they don't know they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They don't know their roles.
But then I was telling someone, Kenya has recorded the highest number of people who have decided not to vote. And if you look deeper, this is their way of telling them, we are done, like we know ABCD. So if the leaders can't read in between the actions of its citizen, and they keep endorsing women reps, they keep saying, I hate when it's time for campaign and it's when these women representatives are going around giving free sanitary towels for a month. And I'm like, what is this girl gonna do for the next 5 years? Excuse me. What's this girl going to do for the next 5 years before you come back and campaign and say how you are going to give them again free sanitary towels, right? Why do girls think sanitary towels is a luxury? We need to live in a country where I can easily walk in a store, hey, I have my periods, give me what you're giving me, right? We need to be able to live in a country. Like, I mean, the UK education is like totally free. Health is totally free. Healthcare is free. When will things be free for our citizens? Even the basics. Sanitary towels right now, they need to be included as a basic need for every woman in that country. So that means when you are talking about free education, free healthcare, free everything, please put there free sanitary towels, right? For the men, if they want condoms, free ABCD, you gotta cater. Stop giving us positions where you are paying this woman rep who will be escorted by patrol cars, like 20 of them when she's going to run her errands. Her kids are in the best schools where sanitary towels are all over the washrooms, and our kids, that's not the same. I think for me the title that bothers me is woman rep, and I've even had people throw that around like, Lynn, please mama ukue woman rep. I'm like, why? For what? This is a position with no effective, that is not effective
at all.
This is a position with no laid down strategy. It's just a title. No laid down strategies, no accountability, no credibility, nothing. Why do I want to be in such a title? Why? But if we can be in a country where even the basics, such as sanitary towels, are free. Also, why are we importing sanitary towels as a country? We just had a group that won this huge grant for coming up with ways of making sanitary towels through banana leaves and stuff, the banana peels and stuff. Why can't we make sure that Africa as a country is able to make these things for its own citizen? Why do we have to import sanitary towels? Big brands, always, Cortex, all these, all of them in our shops. Yet they have been. Why are we importing sanitary towels? Things can be made in our own country, locally. Come on.
And as you made it, the economy goes up as well because you're actually employing your own people.
Here in the UK, kids as young as 18, 19, your daughter, who is 19 if I'm allowed, is a business person, has her own car from her own money, started working when she was 15. In Kenya, once we finish Form 4, people don't know where to go. Why can't you give them stipends to work in these factories and be able to make these sanitary towels, do ABC? I mean, sometimes I get upset.
I get upset on your behalf. I get upset more.
Oh, yeah.
Because for me, I'm like, I'm outside and I'm looking inside because I live in UK. So I can easily say, you know what, I don't care because I live in the UK. My children live in the UK. But I care. It hurts me so much because you know me. I come to Kenya 3 times a year. It's like Kenya is I've told you already, I don't like this country. I want to settle in Kenya. I love Kenya. I'm just here because of my children are here, so I'll wait when they're adults, I'll leave. But it still hurts me. I could have easily said I don't care, but it hurts me, especially women rep. It hurts me. And now going back to your platform, that's why I'm so grateful that you have youth segment in your platform. I am so happy for that.
Thank you.
So because you're actually giving them a voice, and through now that you have youth segment, that is when they will now realize that, oh, so this women rep, because that's why I say when you say you blame, you don't blame them, I blame them, because the people don't know the role and responsibility of a woman rep. They don't know, because woman rep have never done anything. So they are just thinking, tumchague tu tumchague, unamchagua afanye nini kwa you position. They don't know what that job is. But now, because they have a platform, they can actually even sit and debate amongst themselves. Right? Sit and talk, and darling, you can go and have sex. You can have a child. Once you do that, you'll never see that boy again. This one that is, when they now talk together, the one who has not been in that position yet can hear and say, wow, so it's like this.
Nah, I know as a woman, I stand for women empowerment. I have, I think I support women fully. But when it comes to this position of women reps, for me, it's trash. Nah.
And that is the thing as well with us as women or some people. Just because a woman gets a position, it doesn't mean that because a woman is in that position, I should celebrate her because she's a woman like me. I'm not celebrating that. I'm celebrating what are you doing. Give me results and I'll celebrate results. So I don't care if it's a man. I don't care if it's a woman. I celebrate results. I'm not celebrating you. Do you understand? And that's why when I'll say this as well. When Martha got the position as a vice, women were like, now we are happy. I said, why are you happy? Are you happy because she's a woman? Or are you happy because of the results she's going to produce? So don't be happy because a woman is a woman rep. And somebody say, mbona unachukia wanawake? You're a woman. You're supposed to be. Women rep are doing nothing for us.
And that's facts on facts. And I think when you are asking another woman to vote for a woman because that woman is a woman, you are demeaning. It's not even something cute. It's more of just vote for her because she's a woman. Have you gone through the manifesto? Have you actually understood this person before they are a woman, they are leader? What is this leader going to do for me? As a woman, what is this leader going to do for me? And I always say, people just need to stop with these sympathy votes. I'm a woman. Even me, if a day comes and I stand for a position in politics, and people say, let's vote for her because she's a woman, I'll be like, keep your vote. Could you vote for me because I'm Lynn Ngugi? Could you vote for me because you know the kind of work that I have done? Vote for me because of the kind of change that I'm going to enact. Do not vote for me because I'm a woman. It's very demeaning. Women, to be a woman, it's not a disability.
Go
out. I hate the fact that even they say in parliament, we have to create space for women. We have to create space for women so that it's balanced.
What is the woman bringing on the table?
When did becoming a woman, when is it? It's not a disability. Can you fight for your space? Can you actually fight for your space so that when you are there, people stop being like, we knew she's failing because she's a... See, they elected her because she's a woman. Because they'll not talk to you when you're succeeded. But when you start failing, they'll be like, see, they wanted a woman. That's not the kind of leadership we are looking for.
No, it's not. And that's why women rep have let us so much down.
No, they have, and it's a fact. But I love that so many people are actually beginning now to
to see that.
To see it and say it. Because as women, if we want to succeed, we need to also call out women who are not.
Exactly. We have to call out women who are not. And that is why your platform, for people to know something, there has to be a platform.
Yeah.
For people to know something, they have to be taught. That's why people go to even school. Because if you don't go to school, probably you will not know what you want. 1 + 1, or you won't be able to speak Swahili. Because even in Kenya, we have people who cannot speak Swahili.
Yeah.
They can only speak their language. That's because probably they didn't go to school to learn the Swahili. They've lived in, if it's Kisumu, whatever, they've lived in that area. They've just lived there. All they know is Luo, or their mother tongue.
Yeah.
They didn't go to learn. So for us to learn something, there has to be a platform for us to learn that thing.
Absolutely.
And there is right now, we have Lynn Ngugi Network. That is a big platform that is teaching women, is teaching men, and is teaching the youth.
Yeah.
So we are so appreciative of
Thank
your
you.
platform.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Now, I'm going back now.
Yes.
Who is Lynn Ngugi? Apart from all this that we've spoken about, tell us, where were you born? Hey, I know you were born in the same hospital as me, Pumwani Hospital. Hey, girl power. That's why you're the same length.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us. So, and I know a lot of people are talking about wedding bells. Do we have a wedding bell coming up?
What's a wedding bell?
I don't know.
Where are these bells ringing?
People coming, and there'll be a dancer, an MC.
No, where are these bells ringing?
I don't know. It's just rumors. Can you take us out? Can you put our mind?
Oh my God, Lydia, you had to go there?
Yeah, I had to go.
Okay, so which one do you want first?
Is there a bell coming first? Let's go there first.
Like, am I getting married? Is there a wedding? Is there a man even?
Oh, there's no man?
Why are we talking?
There's no man. Well, this is a juicy story. We have to get this. Is there a man?
What juice?
It's a juicy story.
This water at Omega is nice. I've never had such nice water.
Darling, it's water. It's water.
Sorry.
Don't forget that.
This water, Auntie, this water is nice.
When you finish with the water, tell us.
What?
Is there a man in your life? Is there a ring coming soon?
What's a ring? Okay, so this is why doing an interview with one of your friends is so bad. Thank you so much. This is why doing an interview, because you know all these answers. But you're just putting me on air so that people can call. But anyways, there's no man, there's no wedding, there are no bells yet. So he will come when time is right. I'm not in a rush. Honestly, I'm not searching. I'm gonna be found. So
that person has to find you.
No, we'll find each other if we are meant to find each other. I'm not in a relationship. I was in a relationship. I think I've given a bit of a story about how that ended. Like, I'm not in a relationship anymore. I'm single. I'm not lacking. I'm happy. I'm really happy. But I always say, even if I was to date someone, I would date a friend. So
you date a friend?
I would date a friend first, because I think as a woman, the more you grow up, the more you realize relationships are not just about, oh my God, he's cute, there are some things you have to be able to look at and see, does this tick, does this tick, does this tick, does this tick? Where can I compromise? Because having covered so many stories, I think it has also been a learning experience for me on the kind of family I want to be able to have for myself. And half of the time, as you grow up and you're in these crashes and stuff, it's because that's how the society has conditioned you. When you're a woman, you grow up, you get married, you have kids, and that's where your life stops, right? But as I grow, I'm a woman that really needs to vibe with my friend. I want a beautiful friendship with my partner. I want to travel around. I want to be crazy. I want to be I just really want to be happy. So my view for relationships are not the same as they were a couple of years back. So I'm just when it happens, it will happen. But you can't force something just so that people put a title on you. Oh, now she's married and she has kids and all this. I'm gonna wait.
Okay, so tell us about your family, your mom, your dad, sisters, brother. I know this, but a lot of people outside there.
Oh, my Lydia. Lydia, don't be on my show anytime soon, because
You did.
I did not ask you this question. I respected.
I'm sorry. I respect God. Nobody respects anybody.
You should have told me that when I was hosting you on my show.
No.
Oh, wow. So what do you want to know again, Auntie?
Okay. Start telling us.
Yes.
From your childhood.
Okay.
Mother, father, sisters, brother, you know.
Okay. Yeah, right. So it's like, so I'm a second born in a family of 4 beautiful daughters. I've been raised up by an incredible mom. Shout out, mom, wherever you are watching this from.
Hey, mom.
Yeah, I don't know how much data that woman uses, but hey, God bless her soul.
Amen.
So I've been brought up by such an incredible, intelligent, beautiful woman. I like to say I've been raised up majorly by my mom because my dad left at some point. Yeah, so my dad is late. He died in 2014, but we were not like together as a family when he passed. They had already separated with my mom, as again you said, born in Pumwani. Yeah, born in Pumwani, raised up mainly in Huruma. Huruma is an estate. It's borders Mathare, and it's a slum. We used to live up just like you know where Huruma is. Yeah. So I lived mainly in Huruma. Of course, just like everyone, I went to high school. I was a smart kid, but I hated Swahili. I don't know why. I think Swahili and agriculture did something to me. Because for me, agriculture, I just wrote in Form 2 introduction to I don't know what, and that was the last time I opened my book. All the way until Form 3 when they asked us to choose, and I chose like really beautiful subjects for myself. So I was on and off in school, on and off, matters, school fees, all, you know, just growing up in such difficult lifestyle. Of course, we lacked. Sometimes we had, sometimes we lacked, sometimes we laughed, sometimes we cried. And I was able to go to high school. I loved my life in high school. I loved my life in high school. The place was so cold, but man, it teaches you something. It teaches you something. And the name was hardcore, like Magumu. That was the name of our school.
Yes,
it was called Magumu High School. So I went to Magumu High School, and then later on, I always wanted to go to UON, University of Nairobi. But again, life ni life. So I ended up doing media studies in the East African School of Media Studies. I loved the owner of that school. He was an amazing man. Let me do my exam without finishing my school fees. Has never asked me for anything at all. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then, of course, as the story goes, worked a couple of odd jobs here and there. I worked in a coffee shop. You now see how crazy I am about Costa. It's the last drink I'm getting in the UK with a mug from Costa Coffee. So worked at Costa Coffee in Dubai, and then of course again in Doha, Qatar. And yeah, what else? Yeah, that's it.
Well done. Now tell me about your team at Lynn Ngugi Network.
I'm surrounded by such an incredible team. Of course, majority of the people know the legendary camera person and director, Edwin Ochieng. Edu is the person behind the great work you see on our platform, and a friend of mine from way back. And I have, of course, my amazing editors. God, you should see his tattoos. Dave, his name is Dave, and Kevin, and Sam. Of course, we have a team now. It's big. Our men's desk host and producer Joshua J. Karanja, who also helps us really with run our company, because again, as I said, with startups you need people who are really going to hold you accountable. And the great members, we have the finance, we have the admin, we have head of operation. It's a team. So now that's why sometimes I'm like, oh, it's no longer Lynn Ngugi, it's Lynn Ngugi Network. So we just love bringing people human interest stories, nothing more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Honestly, I don't move with 5 years. I move with a day. Like, I think it's too much pressure for 5 years and goals and stuff. That's why it's very important for me every day to give it my all. But of course, people work with short-term and long-term goals. But as I said, of course, I know I'll have a family by then. No, I love being a mom.
Yeah.
So I really want to be, honestly, I want to be a full-time mom at some point. I really, really want to be. It's like, for me, the way other people love working and they are successful in their careers, for me, I think my success will come from being a full-time mom at some point. So I think the only thing I'm looking forward to is having my own family and having beautiful kids, an amazing partner, and traveling across the world. I love traveling. Like, I'm like, did the trip in the UK have to come to an end this week? You know, I've even told you, we are coming back next year at a time like this. Oh,
yes,
blah, 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 blah.
yes.
So I love traveling. I just looking forward, career-wise, I think I'm doing the best I can every single day. I'm out there grinding, trusting the process, just giving it my all, learning. Of course, learning. You have to keep reinventing yourself. I'm more of the shift, the digital shift and stuff, and how best to make sure our work is being received internationally. Package it in a way no one feels left out, like your friend in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So those are the lessons I'm picking, and I'm improvising and learning every single day. But family, that I can't wait for.
Oh, you can't wait for to have your little children. I can't wait to be an auntie.
Oh yeah, because you know that at least that's nice, because I bring them when they're terrible too. I have plans in my mind.
You bring them to the UK.
I bring them to you, and I take them to my mom. I'll be like, terrible too, guys. I bring them back when they are 4. I'll bring them back when they are 4. I'll pick it up from there. But I'm not doing terrible too.
You're not doing that.
I've done it with so many kids. I'm like, oh my God, my niece, she was a terrible too, for real.
Yes.
My nephew David, I don't know where that will lead us, because he's really cool.
Calm and collected.
Calm and collect. But I'm like, he looks like dad in so many ways. So I'm like, some trouble is coming somewhere. Young man, don't fool me. I see where we are going with this. So I can't wait to deal with girlfriend issues and stuff with him and all this kind of stuff. But I'm really looking forward.
Okay, thank you so much. So what would you like to tell our audience, your last remarks?
My last one, I think even before to my audience, to you. You've been so kind. You are, I know people look for role models everywhere with big titles, and people will be like, oh my God, I want to be like this and this. For me, every day as I leave the UK, I really want to be like Lydia Tetolet. I've said this a couple of times, even in your absence. You are an incredible mom. You are juggling. They don't know, people don't know behind, they don't see. Like, for our shows, you've actually been there with us through it all. I look back and I'm like, how did she bring up her kids, this one in the UK, to be able to have such incredible daughters, and you're still here grinding, following your passion, not settling, demystifying the myths and just being yourself and just chasing. I'll go back a very different person because of the time I've spent with you, just observing you. You are such a timekeeper. You sleep sometimes for 2 hours and you'll be the one telling us, guys, I'm here. And I'm like, for me, I have so much admiration for you, for your craft, for your art, for your work. So I just think today my parting shot would be to you. You are incredible. You are incredible. You stand in the gap between other women. You fix another woman's crown. So I just think today, I know my supporters, I tell them beautiful things all the time. But for today, from me to you, you are a force to reckon with.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are a force to reckon with. And I hope 5 years to come, as you've said, you might be able to see a couple of things I've picked. It's beautiful when women have, like we watched Woman King, and we were all looking up to Viola Davis, and we were like, oh my God, Viola Davis, oh my God. But I want to scream, oh my God, Viola Davis, and I also want to scream, oh my God, Lydia Tetolet. Lydia Tetolet. So, yeah, keep standing out, keep
thank you.
Speaking up. Keep speaking up. And
thank you so much.
Those are your flowers when you're
my
still
flowers when I'm still alive.
Oh,
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lynn. last year when I was in Kenya, and we said, you're going to come to the UK. First, we started planning even before I met you.
Yeah.
And we're like, God's timing is the best. Don't worry, Lydia, God's timing is the best. When I came, and we spoke about it, and then you are meant to come for Kenya and Friends in the park this year, which did not happen. And I was so worried. I told you already, I spoke to Daria, who is a very good friend of mine as well. I was like, oh my God, it's not happening. How am I going to tell her? It's not happening. I don't know how she's going to take it. Should I just tell her it's okay? She can't come anymore. And I was like, no, just tell her. Just talk to her. And when I told you, your response was just, oh, Lydia, don't worry. God's timing, God does this. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's not even upset with me. Because I was thinking, you tell her my time. No. You've been wasting my time since June. You cancel. No. And when you respond, because when I cancel Kenyan Friends, but my producers know this, because I kept on coming in. My producer, in fact, Joe, who is my very good producer, he was telling me, do a video, send it out. I was like, how do I do a video? I don't know how to do it. He was like, it's not happening. Yeah. Don't think of anything. It's not happening. That's it. Yeah. And because I go a lot of some people called, and a lot of people in life, we have a lot of people who are selfish. Yeah. Not everybody, of course. There's so beautiful people out there. Mm-hmm. People like Lynn. And we have so many Lynns out there. Yeah. But then we have also those who only think about themselves. They're very selfish. So when we cancel Kenya in the park, some people call and say, they'll complain or just do this to the phone. Yeah. That's why I was even scared to tell you, because I was thinking, oh my God, another fight, another war. But when you told there's a friend of ours there who just looked at me and he made me laugh. So when you told me that you're coming, and when I told you there's no Kenya in the park, and your response was just, Lydia, don't worry. What is this? It's not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
We'll still come. It doesn't matter. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. That's all I say. Thank you, God. I just say thank you, God. Yeah. So thank you so much, Lynn, for just being Lynn.
For you, for just being Lydia Tet.
And I give you your flowers as well. You're still alive.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And all the best.
And thank you.
I believe Kenyan Friends in the Park next year will be bigger and better.
Amen.
I'm gonna be there.
You're gonna be there.
So,
and we're gonna do a Europe tour. Because remember how people have attacked me?
Oh, wow.
Why you not being?
I'm sorry.
Now you even came and gave me problems.
I am sorry, but they have to be patient, because bigger things are coming, and they will get to experience our work either ways. Yeah. We're in no rush.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you to my producers. These producers are wonderful. Look at how they... And in fact, producer, this is not fair. It's only today my producer decides to change the set because of the love and the respect they have for Lynn Ngugi, He said, no, she cannot go the way everybody else goes. I have to make it special for this lady. Special. And you see how special it is?
Beautiful.
Even this thing, normally it's packed. There's an eagle there, there's everything. The man just did it for me really nice.
Thanks, Joe.
My producer, man, heads up. I love these guys. I love my producers so much. They make us look good. So thank you so much to my producers. Thank you so much to everybody who watched, who tuned in today. Like I said, ask your questions. We're going to answer them. And I'll ask Lynn as well to personally answer them, because I know people always say, just tell Lynn to say hello to me. And there's somebody there as well, Simon Russia. He just keeps on doing this. Stop distracting me. I'm here. Stop distracting me. He keeps on waving. And I'm in my studio. He keeps on distracting me. So we have a friend of ours here, Simon Russia, who actually came as well. Because he said he's going to buy us dinner. So so we're going to have dinner. No MacD, proper dinner. So guys, thank you so much. And like we always say, it can only be God. So we'll see you next week again on Wednesday, same time, 6:30 Kenyan UK time and 8:30 Kenyan time. Mwah. Love you. See ya.
Peace out.